Welcome to FX Options University, recorded live at the International Securities Exchange, the world's largest equity options exchange. Join the industry's top trading professionals as they provide insight and strategies for trading in the currency markets using FX options. FX options are a low-risk alternative to hedging currency moves in any market condition.
You also get personalized, customized weekly homework. I send you out my book, Trading Option Greeks. You get access to all my online educational material, which is like 6 months worth of archived webinars. There's like 30 hours or something of archived webinar material plus reading material. There's lots and lots there. You get to watch my subscription live webinars once a week, and you get lifetime alumni status. So if this is something, if you're a trader who's maybe intermediate and really wants to move ahead with your learning now and really get a lot out of what you're paying for, I don't give you a cookie-cutter workbook. I teach you what you need to know, and I skip the things you already know so you're not wasting your money. So here's how you can contact me. Dan@markettaker.com. You can call me, 815-922-3329, and I will answer that phone if you call me, but please wait till the webinar's over. I personally will answer it if you call, if you call today anyway. MarketTaker.com is my website. I've got tons of resources there, including my blog, which, and I go pretty deep in my blog too. Check that out, and you can also follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Dan_Passarelli for all you tweeters out there. Okay, so let me answer a couple questions here. What is the thought or strategy process for choosing an option chain more or less in or out of the money? Okay, great question. And that's what's tricky about options. It depends on what you want to accomplish. Now, like I said, my mentoring program is personalized, and that's because everybody approaches this differently. I don't want to turn you into another me. I want to turn you into the best you that you can be. If you're a person who buys calls to speculate on a quick price movement, or if you're a person that does things like iron condors because you want to make money if the currency doesn't move at all, the answer to your question is going to be a little different. And I'll answer it a couple ways to help out the most people I can here. If you're looking for a quick move in the underlying currency, and you think it's going to happen pretty fast, and you just want to buy a call, probably what you do is you choose an option that has about a 25 to 35 delta. That's where you get the most leverage. You get the most bang for your buck, and they're cheap enough where you know that your risk, if you really screw up, is 100% of what you pay for the option. So they're not that expensive. As you move towards it, your gamma gets bigger, and your deltas grow at a fast rate. So that 25 to 35 delta is kind of your sweet spot to get you the most leverage. Now, if you're an income-generating person and you do things like iron condors, then you might look at which option you choose a little differently. And using the delta of the option is a great way to do that. Another definition of delta is it's the likelihood of an option expiring in the money. So if an option has a 30 delta, it has a 30% chance of expiring in the money. Now, if I'm just holding an option for a couple days, that definition doesn't matter because I'm not going to have it at expiration. I'm just looking for a quick delta move out of it. But if I'm selling like an iron condor, I'm probably going to hold it a long time, probably close to expiration. So I want to have the best chance of that not expiring in the money as possible. So I want as low a delta as possible. And what I typically do is I try and look for strikes that coincide with support and resistance. It's such a simple answer to a very complex question, but that's how I train my students. And it gets a little bit more complex than that, but it's that easy. Okay, another question, and I probably only have time for maybe one or two more here because we're getting towards the end of our hour together. Could you show what option you would buy for a particular target increase in value and time frame for an option? Yeah, Harold, that's a great question. I love the way you're wording this. Because when you're buying an option, if you're buying, in this case, you're talking, I think, about buying a call. Yeah, you've got to think, okay, how big of a move and how much time? And, I'd add volatility to that as well, but you're off to a great start, a lot better than some people. I don't necessarily have, my account open or anything here, and it would take me about 5 minutes and we'd be out of time if I were to do that. But, let me talk in at least sort of general terms. On the one hand, your goal when you're buying options is you want the lowest theta as possible, but you also like that benefit of the positive gamma. And as you get closer to expiration, your theta goes up, which you don't like, but your gamma goes up too, which you do like. And you know that at-the-money options have the highest theta, and out-of-the-money options, they have lower thetas. So that's why I recommend that 25 to 35 delta option if you're looking for, the short time frame. Now, let's say you're looking at a longer time frame. You're looking at maybe you think it's going to take a month. Well, to tie in your question to Val's question here, what about the use of leaps? Leaps they're basically long-term options. They give them a different name, though. If I were to, be the god of options, I probably wouldn't give them a different name. I'd just call them longer-term options, because when you give them a different name, it makes it seem like there's something different than a regular option, and they're really not. They're just longer-term. Using leaps options, they have the highest amount of time until expiration, and they therefore have the lowest theta. So if you're really looking for a long-term play, a leaps option might be the way to go. If you're looking to hold it for, 3, 4, 6 months, there you're going to have the, you're going to have the lowest time decay, or theta, and you're going to allow for the most time, to let that trade happen. And again, we're just looking at a very, very simple strategy like buying a call. Typically, more clever traders would do something a little bit more sophisticated, let trade a spread, because then you can really shape your risk, and you can do, you can get better profitability with lower risk, which is really the name of the game. Anyway, I'm really, really glad to have spent some time together, and I hope everyone enjoyed this presentation as much as I did. Here's my contact information, and please, if you have any questions about my mentoring service or anything about this presentation, go ahead and contact me. And like I said, at least today, if you call, I'll be at that phone number for a couple hours. So feel free to give me a ring or drop me an email. Follow me on Twitter. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Dan. On behalf of the ISC and everyone who was able to participate in today's session, we really appreciate that you were able to present on this very, very relevant topic. Dan's webinar will be available in our webinar archive. You'll get an email with the details, but the web address is fxoptions.com/events. And I'm actually just going to flip through here so that you could see. And then coming up on Thursday, we have Randy Frederick presenting on exploring vertical FX option spread. So definitely check out our calendar, which is also on fxoptions.com/events. And we look forward to seeing everyone in our upcoming sessions. So thanks again, and have a nice evening. Bye.
Please join us again next week. Get trading ideas, exchange rates, webinars, news, and commentary. Visit www.fxoptions.com. ISE FX options can be easily traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.